we said. Check this out.
Thank you for assisting me in this fact-finding mission, Guardian. There is much to uncover about the Veil, and your work here is indispensable.
I got you on Overwatch. Let's get to work.
This Vex data is intriguing. It seems as though they're trying to access servers not currently connected to the Cloud Ark.
Do we even have systems that aren't connected? That's weird. Does it say where they're digging?
Not yet, no. We need a few more data points. Guardian, let's get moving. The Vex have been attempting to breach an air gap firewall in the old Ishtar Collective systems at Vale Containment. My initial investigation indicated those systems had been wiped in some sort of electromagnetic event. But perhaps in our haste, we overlooked something. Let us go discover what the Vex have been after.
You know, ever since we defeated Callus, I've been wondering a lot more about the Veil. I think we take it for granted. It's always been here. We always assumed that the Ishtar Collective brought it with them on the Exodus ship, but...
But now you question that assumption.
Nezarek seemed to know something, didn't he? When we were inside the Vex network, he said something about... Savathun.
My memories cast shadows of Savathuns. Echoes of the time she and I were bound by her dark magic. The more time we spend here, the clearer the outline of those shadows become. The Ishtar Collective didn't bring the Veil here, Nimbus. Savathun stole it from the Witness and left it here. Quite possibly for the Ishtar Collective to find.
Why? Why would she do that? Isn't she our enemy?
She is. And yet at times, she is our ally. When it is convenient to her. And in that convenience, we find common ground. Or as a friend once said, the line between light and dark is very thin.
I kinda hate that.
As do I. Excellent. That terminal is functional. I've sent a data mining application to your Ghost. Upload it, and let's see what we can find.
Chioma Esi. Personal log. Incidental. Maya arrived yesterday with the Exodus Indigo. I should be relieved, but in light of the current situation, I don't feel much of anything. We're presently en route from Hyperion to the terraformed surface of Neptune. I'm scared. I'm so scared. We don't even know what we've lost. Comms are dead. It's just silence everywhere. We might be all that's left. Maya was right about everything. The cult, the end, how we'll survive. I hate this.
Chioma Esi was one of the founders of Neomuna. There's a part of the city named after her. This is like hearing a legend.
I knew of Chioma Esi and her wife, Maya Sundarish. They were Ishtar Collective researchers on Venus during the Golden Age.
Is this all there is? The one log?
No, there's an entire archive here. It could be the key to unraveling the mystery of the Veil.
Not to cut this short, but we've got it coming. There's Taken popping up all over the courtyard and... Tormentor! There's a Tormentor heading into the facility.
Guardian, neutralize the Tormentor. We can't lose this data. Tormentor is defeated and the area is secure. However, the remainder of Dr. Esi's logs are encrypted. She's using an adaptive Vex algorithm to protect them. It will take me several days to break through. Whatever this is, it must be valuable. Guardian, I recommend you check back here later to see what we've uncovered.
As reckless as it was, I hope the Black Garden helped Nimbus navigate their pain. Perhaps even find peace. I suppose I should have expected Ikora to recover any pieces she could of Sagira. To give me that same opportunity. There are still mysteries to be solved and a trail to uncover. Our assistance here must continue. I will keep a watchful eye on Neomuna. But for now, I must depart. This seems a good time to return home, to those we love. We will likely need each other for what's to come, Guardian. Now more than ever.
Chioma Esi, research log, the Veil. I don't even know where to start. When we landed on Neptune, there was something waiting for us. An alien structure. It's an electromagnetic anomaly. No mass, but a tangible surface area. It's like a thesis statement to the von Neumann-Wigner hypothesis. It's definitely paracausal, like the Traveler. Maya calls it the Veil. She says she heard the name in a whisper when she looked at it. When I asked her who whispered, she said it was her own voice. I still haven't had time to process that. Everyone on the initial survey team died. The minute they touched the object, they entered a state of brain death. All of them. To make it worse, the EM radiation emitting from the Veil is causing psychological distress in the Exos that came with us. They've all described moments of intense, hallucinogenic reverie. Some of them went silent and rigid and just stopped. Maya called it billboarding. Something from the early days of Clovis Bray's Exomind project. She doesn't seem afraid or surprised. She's convinced this thing, in her own words, she says, it'll be our salvation.
Fascinating. This corroborates what Nezarek said. That the Veil survived Savathun's escapade. This must have been the root of Savathun's betrayal. Stalling the witness's plan to buy time to counter it.
So, she stole the Veil from Nezarek?
And killed him in doing so. It explains what happened to the lunar pyramid. Why it's dormant.
And what about the rest of this? What happened to the Exos? Is that what happened to all of them?
I have some theories, but it's too early. Regardless, it sounds like the Veil had an ill effect on Dr. Sandaresh. We must be cautious. Hopefully the next log we decrypt will shed more light on this enigma.
Chioma Esi, research log, the Veil. We shouldn't settle here. It's a mistake. But Maya is insistent that we have to build our long-term shelters near the Veil. We're almost done constructing an enclosure around it. Once the field emitters are up, we should at least be safe from its radiation. The Siva tech Maya had on the Exodus was a lifesaver. Not only for building the enclosure, but shelters, tools. We'd be dead without it. But it still wasn't fast enough. The last Exo in our group succumbed to brain death yesterday. Maya's quarantined the bodies for study. She says our next step should be finding a way to draw power from the Veil so we're self-sufficient. I'm insisting on turbines instead. But she doesn't think that's good enough. Not for as long term as this might be. Which I guess. But I can't shake this feeling. Like we're making a terrible mistake.
I'm not getting a good vibe from this. Quinn says these records contradict some of her own. But there's a ton of references to Maya Sundaresh in our archives that are redacted. I'm worried, Osiris. What if everything we've been told our whole lives? What if it was all a lie?
Don't despair yet, young friend. The truth may be somewhere between these logs and what you've been told in the past. In my experience, history can be contradictory. Regardless, we won't know until we decrypt more of these logs.
Chioma Esi, Incident Log. The Vex.
Interesting.
6 weeks ago, our settlement came under attack by an intrusion of Vex forces. It was a test of our defenses for a larger incursion. Yesterday, scouts discovered temporarily realigned architecture just outside the stronghold limits. The Vex had retroactively inserted themselves into Neptune's history, just like they did on Venus. But unlike Venus, something stopped them short of our habitat. They had to fight their way in. I think it's the Veil. Something about the paracausal nature of the Veil is preventing their temporal excursions. But the Vex aren't giving up. They did something to Neptune's magnetic field. Wove a sim into it. A screen to isolate us. It's a double-edged sword. The Vex screen hides us from the outside world, from whatever's happened. So we're safe. Ish. But we're stuck with the Vex. Thankfully, they're slow to react, and it's giving us time to research countermeasures. It's almost our anniversary. I should do something for Maya. She'll forget. She's always so busy. Computer, prepare food synthesis. File, Chioma date night 6. Oh, and add a bottle of port.
Osiris? You alright?
Yes, I'm fine. I just, saw shadows. My choices. Saint. Dr. Sundaresh and I walked very similar paths of obsession, it seems.
Oh.
Nevertheless, it appears that Neomuna's history is deeply tied to the Vex. Hopefully the next decryption will shed more light on this.
Chioma Esi, research log. Exos. Maya and I have built a working theory around the deaths of our Exo crewmates after their exposure to the Veil. According to Maya, Exo minds contain a combination of Vex radiolaria and something known as clarity. Radiolaria are alien microorganisms living within a hive mind state. Or, I suppose more accurately, a community. Clarity is, Maya described it as a paracausal power derived from an alien artifact. Something Braytech had kept secret. Something Maya. Maya thinks the Veil and this artifact are related. That the paracausal force from the Veil overloaded their exominds. Unraveled them. It's like taking a powerful magnet to an archaic magnetic storage device. Full erasure. But Maya, she thinks we can reverse engineer this phenomenon. Use it to write data to a clarity-infused object. Fabricate consciousness. Scientifically, the process seems sound, but morally... Maya keeps saying that we're past the point of morality. She said that. She's convinced that our survival hinges on mastery of the Veil. It's like she's the one unraveling. I feel like I'm losing her. But every time I try and push, I feel her move a little further away. I don't know if I can lose anything else. How much more can any of us lose before there's nothing left?
Nimbus, how much do you know about the Cloud Strider's creation? The technology used?
You don't think...
I make no assertions yet. But I worry that your neon-lit city may have darker roots than either of us knew.
Oh,
Chioma Esi, research log. Siva. Siva is a nanotech fabrication system, intended to be used by Exodus ships to rapidly build necessary resources from base matter. Maya calls it Willa-Bray's obsession, without a hint of self-awareness. But we both see the potential it poses for the future. Each nanomachine in Siva's design is an independent, thinking machine, utilizing a distributed quantum network to coordinate movement. Like a mechanical version of Radiolaria. Probably where the design was inspired from, if I'm being honest. But the design can be pushed. We're looking at ways of incorporating components from disabled Vex and erased exomines. If we can insulate the nanomachines from the radiation that killed the Exos, maybe their deaths won't be for nothing.
wait. Does this really mean I'm part Vex?
Well, it's too early to jump to these conclusions, Nimbus. But there does seem to be some connection between the Vex and the Cloud Striders. It may explain why you and the others are able to enter the Vex network without the aid of splicers.
Can I time travel?
No, let's hope not.